Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we solved the part of radiographic diagnosis. Today we solved these questions only. Radiographic diagnosis, first of all, I must say, is a very important part for your NEET examination. So it's a very important topic. So stay guys, okay. Now we solving the questions. First question is radiograph are of no help in the diagnosis of, okay. Your option is first is cementoma, sub B is subluxation teeth, acute alveolar abscess and impacted canine. Okay, so which radiograph do you think that there is no help in the diagnosis of? Okay, the right answer is option C, acute alveolar abscess. Okay, so if we took acute alveolar abscess, there is no sign and symptoms show in X-ray, because in acute alveolar abscess there is only clinical examination is important. Through clinical examination you can find out that patient having a acute alveolar abscess. Okay, so the right answer is option C. Now come to the next question. The presence of pulp stone on the radiograph of a tooth indicate the presence of, okay, so your option is acute pulpitis, acute pulpalgia, chronic periodontitis and none of the above. So what do you think? Pulp stones on radiograph of a tooth indicate the presence of what? The right answer is none of the above, guys. This is a very important question. It comes again and again in your NEET examination, I think, because in radiograph, if you saw the pulp stone, there is nothing difference. It's just a calcification stone which may be present in our pulp also. Okay, so the right answer is option D, none of the above. Okay, now come to the next question. A radiolucent lesion in the posterior part of the mandible anterior to the angle has radiographic feature of a cyst. After surgical intervention, the history reports show submaxillary salivary gland tissue. One may conclude the lesion is likely, and there are options are there residual cyst, traumatic bone cyst, Stephaney bone cyst, and your option is D, a lingual mandibular bone cavity. So what do you think the right answer? The right answer is option C. The right answer is option C. It is a Stephaney bone cyst, nothing else. Now come to the next question. In bite wing radiograph, occlusal pit caries of enamel appear as a. Your options are circular radiolucent area, B is triangular radiolucent area with its base towards the dentino-enamel junction, and triangular radiolucent area with its base towards the surface, and option D is vertical radiolucent line. So the right answer is, if you took a bite wing radiograph, occlusal pit caries of enamel, how it can be appears? It can appear triangular form. So it will look like triangular radiolucent area with its base towards the dentino-enamel junctions. Okay, so the right answer is option B. Now come to the next question. Internal resorption may be seen on the radiograph as. Your options are interproximal bone loss, small radiolucent enlargement of the pulp chamber, radio opacity in pulp chamber, and small area around the root apex. The right answer is option B, small radiolucent enlargement of the pulp chamber. So internal resorption, we can if you remember, internal resorptions occur always in pulp chamber. So in radiograph you can see the small radiolucent enlargement in the pulp chamber. Okay, so the correct answer is option B. Now come to the next question. A 60-year-old male report for denture adjustment, and his OPG show 1 centimeter lytic area in the lower bicuspid region. The most probable diagnosis is, and the option is residual cyst, hyperparathyroidism, CA prostate, and any one of the above. Okay, so 60-year-old, okay, and there is denture adjustment, and OPG will show 1 centimeter lytic area or in bicuspid region, means in premolar region, right? So your most probable diagnosis, I guess, all of the above is, maybe any one will be the right. So any one of the above is the right answer. Okay, might be possible that this is a residual cyst, or due to hyperparathyroidism it occurs, or CA prostate. So everything is right here. So any one of the above is the right answer. Now come to the next question. Apical root fracture is visible in. So apical root fracture, if you work in a clinic and patient comes to you, how you can find that there is a apical root fracture? For example, IOPA, intraoral periapical X-ray, bite wing X-ray, occlusal X-ray, and OPG. So the right answer is option A, intraoral periapical X-ray, commonly known as IOPA, because it's taken on a daily basis in clinic. And bite wing, basically bite wing most importantly we use for interproximal areas, guys. Okay, occlusal X-ray you understand for the occlusal surface, and OPG, orthopantogram, is we can saw all upper and lower tooth along with their jaw also. Okay, so it's a 2D dimensional view. So apical root fracture is visible in IOPA. Option A is the correct answer. Now the next question is, radiographic image of a malignant tumor is. Radiographic image of a malignant tumor is distant sclerotic borders, geographic bone destruction, sunburst appearance, all of the above. What do you think the right answer? The right answer is option C, sunburst appearance. So if you saw the malignant tumor, the radiographic image which is very common is sunburst appearance. This can be by heart yourself. It's a very important question. Now next question is, all of the following are radiolucent except, okay, the options are glass, lead, rubber, wood. So there is a radiolucent area, there is a radio opaque area. So if you heard, lead is not in this, so option B is a correct answer for this. Okay, so all of the following are radiolucent but except lead. Now come to the next question. Radiographic diagnosis. Radiographically, the normal horizontal plane of alveolar bone interdentally is related to. Okay, your option is option A, cemento-enamel junction of adjacent tooth, epithelial attachment of adjacent tooth, trabecular pattern of bone, and all of the above. What are the right answer? The right answer is cemento-enamel junction of adjacent tooth. So radiographically, the normal horizontal plane of alveolar bone interdentally related to CEJ junction of adjacent tooth. Okay. Next question. Hypoplastic defect in the enamel appears in radiograph as. Your options are brown spot running horizontally, radiolucent area, sclerotic area over the surface of tooth, and radio opaque area. The correct answer is, how you think that hypoplastic defect in enamel appears in radiograph? It appears radiolucent area. Option B is a correct answer. Now come to the next question. Onion peel appearance on radiograph is not seen in. So there are many malignancy that onion peel appearance will occur, and they are asking that on radiograph is not seen in. Which one of this is not seen this orange peel appearance? Your option is Gehr osteomyelitis, Ewing sarcoma, osteogenic sarcoma, and fibrous dysplasia. The correct answer is fibrous dysplasia. Rest of all three, there will be onion peel appearance on radiograph is seen, but not in fibrous dysplasia, remember. Now come to the next question. The next question is, sunburst appearance on the radiograph is seen in. So sunburst appearance on the radiograph is seen in. Your options are osteosarcoma, osteofibroma, osteomalacia, and osteopetrosis. The right answer is sunburst appearance on radiograph seen in osteosarcoma. It's a common question again. Next question, multiple radio opacity are seen in. So multiple radio opacity are seen in. Your options is multiple myeloma, cherubism, osteopetrosis, odontomas. The correct answer is multiple radio opacity are seen in odontomas. So the correct answer is option D. Come to the next question. Unilocular radiolucency is seen in all except. So unilocular radiolucency means only one side, not involvement of multilocular. Okay. So the option is ameloblastoma, primordial cyst, giant cell granuloma, and calcifying epithelial odontogenic tumor. So what do you think that unilocular radiolucency is seen in all but except what? Except what? The correct answer is option C, giant cell granuloma. So in giant cell granuloma, there is no unilocular radiolucency is seen. There is multilocular radiolucency seen. Okay, so the correct answer is option C. Come to the next question. An oval radiolucent area between the apices of maxillary incisor is, your option is nasopalatine foramen, lingual foramen, nasal fossa. Option D is incisive canal. Very common question again. The oval radiolucent area between the apices of maxillary incisor is nothing but the nasopalatine foramen. The option A is the correct answer. Come to the next question. An American patient show a radiolucent area surrounding the apices of mandibular anterior teeth which are vital. The most probable diagnosis is, and your option is periapical abscess, periapical granuloma, periapical cemental dysplasia and condensing osteitis. The correct answer is option C, periapical cemental dysplasia. Okay. Come to the next question. Which of the following help in distinguish osseous neoplasm and a cyst on an X-ray? So size, shape, location, peripheral bone formation. What do you think? What do you think the correct answer? What do you think that differentiate an osseous neoplasm from a cyst? The correct answer is option D, peripheral bone formation. Okay. Now come to the next question. All of the following will appear caries in an X-ray except. Appearing caries means how caries look like in X-ray? Radiolucent, right? So all of the following will appear caries in X-ray except the options are acrylic resin, calcium hydroxide, composite and ZOE. What do you think the correct answer is? The correct answer is option C, ZOE is the right answer. Okay, zinc oxide usinol is not appear as caries in X-ray. All of the following are radiolucent except, again same question will arise. Question number 20. All of the following are radiolucent except ameloblastoma, cementoblastoma, keratosis, central giant cell granuloma. The correct answer is option B, cementoblastoma. So hope you like the video. Please go thoroughly and practice each and every day. By spending only 10 minutes, you can practice each and every day on this channel. Hope you like the video, guys.